Hey there guys, it's Mr. Beetle again. I am back with another Call of Duty video here. Gonna be talking about everything that's been revealed about Black Ops 3 this past Sunday. Now this past Sunday, as we know, it was the world reveal of the game. We got to see it. We got to see exactly what I wanted to see. If you saw my Black Ops 3 info vid, which I will link in the description if you have not seen it. I'm a bit late to the party with this video talking about it, mainly because you know, it's Wednesday, but you know, I've been busy doing, you know, work and, you know, home life and all that stuff, so I tried my hardest to try to make sure I got all the information I could just so I can make this video. Now there's a couple things I have written down here that we could go over. Some of you guys may already know this. I'm sure some of you viewers actually watch the bigger YouTubers like Ali, maybe Chaos X Silencer, or T Martin. I don't know. Those guys that really just pump out info as they get it. Good for them. I'm a little late on it, unfortunately. I've been busy, so let's get cracking, shall we? So here we have the game. Black Ops 3 seems to be next gen only. Now it's not confirmed that it's going to be next gen only, but they have yet to announce if the game is going to be last gen. Now with Advanced Warfare, when Advanced Warfare and Ghost came out, right off the bat we were told that it was not going to be next gen only, that another studio, which I know for Advanced Warfare was High Moon Studios. I can't remember who did it for Ghost. I think, was it Raven Software that did it for the last gen? I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. It might have been both for both games, but it seems here that it's gonna be next gen only. Now I'm sure if they do end up announcing something sometime soon, you know, they're going to be saying, okay, we are going to release it for last gen. It's going to be made by so-and-so studio, and just like these past two Call of Duties, it's not going to have as much as the full game for the system that it's made for. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, for me personally, you know, I think if they end up going next gen only, it could go one of two ways, right? You know, you could get positive feedback, say, you know, this is exactly what we need. These next gen systems really need to be put more thought into, because we have this new hardware in the next gen, or I should say current gen systems, and they need to utilize it, right? They need to say, hey, this is brand new systems, we want to make it work especially for that, because we can do so much for the game. And you know, if they just go and say, you know, if we want to make this game for last gen, for the 360 PS3, you know, they're gonna have to like downscale the game. It's not gonna be the full experience that, you know, they're hoping their consumers are gonna get. So my thoughts on it, at least, it's a good and bad idea. If they decide to go next gen or current gen only, I mean, and skip the PS3, 360, you know, I'll end up buying I'm gonna buy an Xbox One anyways. Me and my buddies have already decided, hey, there's a good chance that this game is gonna be awesome on on the One or on the PS4. So let's go ahead and get one of those systems. We're just gonna leave the 360 behind, because, you know, it's only a matter of time before they just stop making the games for these systems. So pretty soon it's gonna be just Xbox One, PS4, and PC. That's where you're gonna go see the AAA titles like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and all those other Halo. That's where you're gonna see those titles make games for. So for me, I'm not gonna mind it, but for you guys might only be able to play on the 360 and only have, you know, you guys, I don't know if you guys work or what, but some people can't just afford another system just like that, the snap of a finger. And some of you guys might say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna save up for it. It won't take me too long, but hopefully I'll have it by the release of the game. So for me, not a big deal. I'm gonna get the next gen system, or current gen system I should say. Anyways, so it's not really gonna affect me, but I do feel bad for the players on the last gen systems that crossing my fingers that they don't not put the game on there, but you know, I do feel bad if that is the case. So pre-ordering Black Ops 3, it's going to give you, we know it's going to give you the camo on Advanced Warfare, the Black Ops 3 camo. That doesn't really, you know, hook on me. That's not going to make me want to pre-order the game. You know, I don't play Advanced Warfare as much, so it's not really going to bother me if I don't have that camo for not playing Advanced Warfare, but you also get the beta. Now this is the biggest thing Call of Duty has probably ever done with their games pre-launch. So only certain games do put out betas. Like I know just recently Battlefield Hardline, it's an awesome game. They had the beta out, and I know me and my buddies played it a couple months ago when they had it, and you know what, I absolutely love the game. That game is phenomenal. Yeah, some of you may say it's probably just you know, it could just be a DLC for like Battlefield 4, because the game literally feels like a DLC, but you know, I don't mind. I don't care. The game is fun. That's for me. Whatever. But yeah, so a beta. Call of Duty's, I believe, never done something like this. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe they've never done something like a beta. And so the beta is going to be 1 to 2 months before the release of the game, and it's going to last about 1 to 2 weeks. Something tells me it's going to last maybe 2 weeks, and they'll probably extend it, but I doubt it. But I can only hope, right? So, so pre-order beta. I think it's going to be awesome. It's really going to get me to realize how they've improved themselves in this game, and how much of a great studio Treyarch could possibly be. Because we already know, some of us may think though, that Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 are phenomenal. Like, I love Black Ops 1. Like, that is the first ever Call of Duty game that I ever played multiplayer on, and I absolutely fell in love with it. The game, just playing it back now, just brings the nostalgia of first playing it back when it came out. All those feelings of like my first year in high school, when everybody was talking about the game, and I was like, yeah, man. Even though I didn't play video games at the time, so. But going and playing it, you know, it was just an amazing series, and so was Black Ops 2. Both games, in my opinion, are just really awesome, as well as, you know, World at War. So I think Treyarch as a studio can really nail it on this next gen game, or current gen game, I should say. It's probably going to be really chaotic, but I want to say it's going to be a good chaotic, not something like Advanced Warfare. A game like Advanced Warfare is, like, I would say a little too much for me. Like, it's one thing to have like a lot of people rush in, you know, all over the place to objectives, but like when you put an objective game mode and have like let's say ground war, and you have like people running in from all sorts of direction, and then add a double jump to that and dashing to that, like, you're not gonna, it's gonna be extremely hard to keep up with everyone coming at you, and you know, that's what makes the game not enjoyable for me. But I think with this one, I think in the beta is really going to prove just how good this game's going to be, and I'm sure it's not going to be tweaked as hard during the beta. I think so it's in the pre-alpha as its current state right now. So I think from the feedback of those YouTubers that went and played the game a little early, I think from their feedback and constant community feedback about certain things when they talk about it, I think they're gonna change the game around by the time the beta comes out. But you know, only time will tell. So, so we know the game's set in the 2060s, right? Black Ops 2 set in 2025. Here we are, and I believe 2065, about 40 years later. Story mode, I mean, not the biggest thing for me, right? Because you know I do enjoy the Black Ops single player, but mainly for me, it's all about the multiplayer. All about the multiplayer. Multiplayer and zombies. Okay, so let's talk about some game features that they have in there. So zombies is returning, guys. Hallelujah. We know they weren't gonna let us down with that, but you know it's just a big relief to know that it is coming back. And the biggest thing with the new zombies is that it's gonna have its own story, which is really interesting, because we know that the Call of Duty Zombies, these past few games, the only story it's really had is through the Easter egg and you know finding radios on the map and playing the sound and listening to the audio, and trying to you know piece together the story, and eventually you know people you know could put together the entire thing. So this one apparently is going to have its own story. So I'm thinking maybe something like a something like campaign, maybe, where you know it's a set story, and as you play the maps, you know the story's gonna evolve even more, and it's probably gonna be just the greatest thing in the entire world if you're into Easter eggs. So who knows what they're capable of with these current gen systems. So also with the zombies, they're introducing an XP ranking, kind of like multiplayer. Now we know in Black Ops 2 they had a really quirky ranking system, and it wasn't really I would say like kind of like okay, I'm just gonna scratch that, but I kind of lost myself in that thought. But it's gonna, I assume it's gonna be more like a multiplayer XP ranking. As you play, you gain more XP. You know, you rank up. I think you can do as you rank up higher and higher, you can do a little bit more things in the game. But apparently, it's not gonna be the difference between pro syndicate playing and having all this good stuff because he's a high rank, and newbie Timmy who just got the game and doesn't know how to play. There's not going to be a giant gap between those two. You're not going to get you know something more for playing more. It's just going to make the game different when you play. It's going to give it more replayability. So so that's exciting that they're finally upgrading the XP ranks, because in Black Ops 2 I didn't really like the fact that you didn't really know how to rank up your player card. You know, you started with, I think, what was it, like the knives or something, and then you upgraded to a skull, and then a skull with like blue eyes, and then like a skull with machetes or something, and then the shotguns. I have no idea. And the thing was, no one really knew how to rank that high. Some people say, oh, you just gotta play a lot. Some people say, oh, you gotta get to round 30 or something every single time you play a match. You know, some say that you gotta play co-op to do it. Oop, dropped my board. You know, there wasn't really a specific reasoning behind you know the ranking up system. So this one I think will be a lot better. Theater mode is coming back, thankfully. Oh wait, okay. Oh, never mind. I'm reading something wrong. Theater mode is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. We have we love theater mode. You know, it's a shame it wasn't in something like Ghost or Advanced Warfare, but we know theater mode is just an amazing thing for showing off to your friends. If you got like a quad feed, or you got this sick no scope 420 blaze it trick shot, or for commentators like me who are not necessarily recording at the time that they're playing, and if you get a good gameplay and you want to say, hey, I'll upload this to YouTube, or you know I could use this in something, it's a godsend option in Call of Duty, because it just lets creators like me not have to record every single game. You know, you don't want to waste up your computer space with like thousands of gameplays. You know, you're gonna have thousands of games played, but you know you're only gonna have a couple handfuls of games that you're actually gonna want to use. So that's really good for going back and seeing how well you did, and seeing how you can use your games that you recorded. So here we also have you're going to be able to switch between the multiplayer campaign and zombies almost seamlessly. So I know it was pretty annoying in like Black Ops 2 or in Black Ops, where you would have to exit that game mode and then wait literally about 10 seconds for the entire other screen to load, select the other mode that you wanted to play, and then have to wait another 15 seconds for that black screen to finish and be able to play whatever mode you're gonna be able to play. So to do that almost instantly, I think, you know, it's just gonna feel better, I think. It's not the world's biggest thing, right? You know, I don't think we would really care if that was a thing, but I think it's just gonna make things feel a lot better when you play, and it's gonna make the experience a whole lot better. You're gonna say, wow, this Call of Duty runs so smooth, it's so fast. You know, it's gonna give a more positive feedback to the game in general. Here we have something new in the game called a gunsmith. So gunsmith is basically custom camos. So you're gonna be able to have your normal unlocked camos for certain challenges with whatever gun you're using, and you know, you can throw that on your gun, and then on top of that you can customize your own camo and put that on top of your camos. It's gonna have 3 different spots on the gun where you can place the custom camo from the gunsmith. Now the gunsmith, it's described as you know, a modification tool for your gun, but it's not going to modify its stats. It's only going to modify the cosmetics of the gun. So you can only make it look better, you can't make it perform better. But on the whatchamacallit, I'm losing my mind here. On the topic of making your gun better, you're going to be able to add up to 5 attachments. 5 attachments aside from an optic. So that's six attachments ish, if you want to combine it, possible for your gun. You're going to have, you know, the ability to put on 1 optic, like a red dot and ACOG or something like that, a thermal. They'll probably end up having some kind of thermal in the game. You're going to be able to have that, and then aside of that, something like a foregrip, extended mags, a stock, a silencer, laser sight, you know, stuff like that. And you aside from the optics, as I said, you're going to be able to add 5 freaking attachments to your gun. Like, I don't know why you would need 5 attachments, but I don't know who would actually run 5 attachments, because the PIC-10 system is coming back. That's something, you know, that we know from Black Ops 2. It's something we're familiar from Advanced Warfare with their PIC-13 system. So the PIC-10 system is just really awesome for doing things, because it gives you more of a customization option for your stuff. Kind of unlike, like, you know, MW3, where you can only have specific stuff, you know, and whatnot. But with like the PIC-10, you can really pick and choose how you want that certain class to be set up. And so with the PIC-10, those 5 attachments are really gonna eat, you know, your options to have perks and stuff. So if you're running a gun, and let's say you put 5 attachments on it, that's 6 slots already. 3 for your perks if you're just gonna run 3. That's already 9. You only got 1 room left. What are you gonna do with that 1 room? You know what you can put on it? You can use the C4. The C4 that is coming back to Black Ops 3. It is changed a little bit. You can only detonate it once it hits something or once it lands. So that kind of sucks, but you know, at least the C4 is coming back. I love the C4 in Black Ops 2. It was always fun to use. You get corners out of you can get campers out of corners, and you could always outplay someone if they try to, you know, dodge your bullets. So it was always fun to use, and it was always really tactical. But you know, the one thing that I always hated was throwing it into a room when I'm outside the door, but hitting the top of the door frame and blowing myself up before I realize it's there. So hopefully that doesn't happen to me in this game. But so yeah, the PIC-10 system is coming back, and we are getting score streaks back. Now the score streaks, they said that the score streaks you can only choose, or that might have been something else, but The score streaks are coming back. You can pick up to 3 of them. I'm happy score streaks are coming back and not kill streaks. The only reason I say that is because me and my buddies, we all like, well, at least my other buddy, we like playing games like Domination or something like that. You know, we love playing objective game modes just because we can get really high score, and that's what it's all about, going for the really high score. And if you're going for the scores, if you're playing the OBJ, you know, you should be rewarded for that. Not because, you know, you could get flag caps, counter, you know, the strategy of the other team, you know, and get yourself some streaks to help you, because it wouldn't really be fair, you know, if you were, you know, objective based player and you couldn't get any, you know, anything other than what your gun could kill. So I like the fact that score streaks are coming back. I like them in Black Ops 2. I hope there are higher end score streaks, kind of like the Swarm and the Dogs. You know, something that's really rewarding, you know, if you're able to get either that many kills or play the objective enough to get yourself that high of a score within a life. So that's a good thing. Here we have 4-player co-op campaign. Now that's something Call of Duty's never done, I believe. They've never done anything co-op other than zombies, right? Or multiplayer. It's obviously co-op, but for 4-player co-op campaign, I think that's going to be pretty cool. You know, if you have 3 other friends that like to play the campaign, you guys want to play together and see how fast you guys can beat it together, I think that'll be really cool. So here, moving on, PC. PC, you know, it's a touchy subject because recently, these past 2 games, these past 2 Call of Duties, PC has really been shunned into the corner of everything, so they're not really being focused on as much anymore, which really sucks if you're a PC player. I know there are a lot of PC fans, and they're probably the biggest voice there is when it comes to a video game like Call of Duty, because you have a lot of players that come from PC and just decide to play a console and then not like Call of Duty anymore, because, you know, it's not what they're used to. They don't want to have to go and buy a console just so that their game won't be shitty. Not saying Call of Duty on PC is shitty, but, you know, I'm saying it's not as great as it should be. They're really leaving the players behind who play PC, and they're not really optimizing the game for them, which is really unfair. So with this game, PC is going to be running dedicated servers for their ranked matches, and that's a big thing because, you know, dedicated servers is one thing that everyone in Call of Duty asks for. You know, it's something that could be really great. You're not going to have to, like, connect to some kid in Guatemala just because, you know, your KD is as good as him. You know, skill-based matchmaking. You know, that's something that Advanced Warfare really messed up on, was the skill-based matchmaking, where they said, hey, let's pair you up with someone who's as equally as good as you, but we're not really going to care where he's from, as long as he's good as you. So if that's the case, you'll be in the US, somewhere in the Midwest region, and they're going to pair me up with some guy in frickin' Mexico. That's not really fair to me. He's probably going to end up having the host, and it's just going to be really laggy and really unenjoyable, you know, and then I'm just going to get smacked on top of that. So, like, I don't want to face a try-hard with a connection from another country. Yeah, that's completely unfair. So dedicated servers for PC, that's really awesome for them. Hopefully they transition something like that to console. It'd be nice to have dedicated servers, kind of like what Battlefield does, but, you know, who knows if they'll ever do that. So the skill, as I was saying a little earlier about the skill-based matchmaking, it's going to be exactly like Black Ops 2. It's not going to be like Advanced Warfare. It's not going to be like Call of Duty Ghosts, where every lobby was like sweaty kids and their red clan tags with their vectors running everywhere. But it's going to be just like Black Ops 2, and hey, I'm all down for that. Because Black Ops 2 skill-based matchmaking, it wasn't so much about the skill. Yeah, you ran into lobbies where the connection was good and the players were good, but hey, having those two combined makes it better for me. I don't want to have to face you know, no thumb players, but, you know, be lagging all over the place, you know, and I just, you know, red barring, you know, I'll shoot at them, they won't even notice me, and I just can't even get the kill because the connection's that bad. So that's a good thing to hear about the skill-based matchmaking. We're coming to a close here on all the things I'm talking about. So let's talk about the game movements. Sorry about that. My throat's being a little odd today. The game movements. So in Black Ops 3, we got ourselves a slide. The slide is back. No dolphin dive, unfortunately, but you know, I didn't really dolphin dive that much. It's gonna really suck because I know PhD Flopper and Zombies was activated by dolphin diving, you know? So I don't know if that means PhD's not coming back, or, you know, maybe they'll have dolphin diving just for zombies. That'd be a good idea. I don't see why would we need to slide in zombies. No real point for that. I think the dolphin diving's fine, especially if they want to make a return of the PhD Flopper perk. So there's also a thing called thrust jump. Now, before you freak out on me, for those who don't know, a thrust jump is not a double jump. It's not a boost jump. It is literally thrusting yourself in the air just a little bit. So if you tap the A button, you're going to jump. If you hold it down a little more, you're going to jump a little higher. And if you hold it down completely, you're going to go into a slow transition of jumping higher than your player ever could. So it's not going to be like Advanced Warfare where you double tap A and all of a sudden you're 15 feet in the air. With this, it's literally going to take you a couple seconds to reach a higher ground if, you know, that's your main focus. But so I don't really mind that. If it's what I hear it is, you know, if it's not, you know, something crazy, I'm not gonna mind it. It's gonna be pretty okay with me. Here, as I apparently got a phone call from my sister. Okay. You're also going to be able to swim underwater and have gunfights underwater. Now, isn't that cool? Now, if the fish AI are not in the game, I'm not going to play it. No, I'm just kidding. The whole fish, the interactive fish thing from Call of Duty Ghosts, that was extremely stupid. But you're going to be able to swim underwater in certain maps. You're going to be able to hold your breath for about 10-15 seconds-ish and really just swim around, and you're going to actually be able to use your gun. Now, that's pretty cool. And your gun's not going to lose damage when it's in the water. It's not going to go any slower. According to Drifter, who played the game and experienced this, he said that the only thing that's really affected by the water is grenades and stuff. So I really want to see how that's going to play out. Apparently they're not going to be as effective in the water, but you know, they shouldn't be. So the last thing I want to touch on is wall running. Wall running, we know, was in the game Titanfall. I really enjoyed the game Titanfall. I thought it was extremely fun. The only thing that was a downside for Titanfall was the players that played. You know, there wasn't a lot of players playing, and the players that were playing, you know, they weren't really playing the way I feel Titanfall was meant to be played. I really enjoyed the wall running in Titanfall. It really made the game immersive, and it made it feel good when playing. You know, something that you could understand could be in the game, and it was just so fluid that it wasn't a game changer. It wasn't game breaker either. It was just something extra in the game that made it more fun. Now with Black Ops 3 and the wall running, according to Drifter as well, who was also I believe he tweeted this, he said that there's only 2 to 3 spots per map that you're going to be able to wall run. Now, wall running is not going to be something that you have to do in-game. It's just going to be an alternate route that you could take to get through the map. So that's a really good thing here. You know, you're not going to be seeing people, you know, running up against the wall every time, you know, they see you just to get away from you. But, you know, it's a good, I think it'll be a good way to get around the map. He said it's not the most useful thing if you're going into gunfights, because, you know, if you're running up in the wall or if you're thrust jumping, you're making yourself a giant target in the sky for to shoot at. So it's not going to be the greatest thing. So I think people are only going to literally only utilize it just to get through the map where they need to get to. that's all I have today for you guys here as we wrap up this commentary. I want to thank you for coming and listening. Hopefully you stuck around to the end of this video. I know it's going to be pretty long, but sorry I'm a little late to the party. Like I said, I've been busy doing stuff at home, work, stuff like that. So hopefully we get some new information out later these coming weeks. Hopefully going more in depth on some of the things that, you know, I touched on but couldn't really get much out of because there's only certain things said. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop a like, subscribe if you want to, share it with your friends if you know they love Call of Duty videos, and until the next time guys, my name is Mr. Beetle. Goodbye.